Ladies and gentlemen, Battlegrounds are finally out. My name is Shirley, and let's talk about some PvP today. Starting things off, let's go right into the Warsong Gulch, because it's probably the thing I was looking forward to the most, actually, rather than AV and Classic here, because just having smaller scale, pre-made, PvP conflict is a lot of fun, and it's at least it's somewhat organized compared to the World PvP hodgepodge that we've been doing for the last month or so. But there are some problems that have been made very obvious after just a couple of days. For one, the elephant in the room is Alderac Valley, the patch state that it was released on. And there's another thing that is really been bugging me, is that you can't queue for AV as a party. And, you can 10-man, I think you can 10-man anyway, in Warsong Gulch in a pre-made. At least I've seen, all a couple of matches filled with people from the exact same server, so I'd imagine that's the case. But between me and a couple of friends, we can party up for Warsong and enjoy that. But, the queue times are longer, and if you do queue into a full 10-man pre-made, then you're pretty much guaranteed to lose anyway, which I expected. Nothing that hasn't changed over the years. I don't, that doesn't bother me or anything. But the option to not be able to do that for Alderac Valley is disappointing, frankly. But on top of that, if you want to actually farm rep or honor at the moment, since the Battlegrounds have opened up, you're pretty much wasting your time if you actually want to play Warsong. Warsong is probably more fun for me at the moment, so I've been playing it anyway, and I'm not going super hard for rank 14 or anything, so I don't really care. But if you actually want to be farming a decent chunk of honor and staying competitive, then Alderac Valley is definitely, your best bet. And that goes for reputation, too. We played, I don't know, a couple of nights, and I don't even think I'm friendly with Warsong yet. Whereas just a day of farming some Alderac Valley, I'm already I don't know, almost revered with them. And that goes back on the honor as well. I've got a friend who has been playing really hard since the PvP system came out in the first place, and the last, a couple of months or however long it's been since the honor, gated opened up, he farmed up just over 200,000 honor, I want to say. And the very first day of Alderac Valley's release, him playing all day, he farmed up 200,000 honor again in one day in AV, and that's really been discouraging for some people, that they've just wasted their time, because a lot of people were hoping that going into this, it would be at least some skill and strategy as far as, farming in pre-made groups for Warsong, or even AV, just having some strategy basically with other people that to be able to farm honor more efficiently than, the majority of the server. And that's just not the case, because the way that Alderac is set up in this patch is you can basically just zerg the bosses, So you'll have matches that are over in 6-7 minutes even, and that's just rewarding time spent at that point. And the more, games you queue, the better, just to farm out more honor if you're pushing for High Warlord, and that's not very encouraging, to most people, because you can't just sit at the computer for 24 hours a day unless you're account sharing or anything like that, which is another problem entirely. There's already been some bots that, we've seen in AV just farming honor, just AFK. It's clear that they're bots. They'll probably get banned, of course, but it's inevitable that people are going to be trying to do this, just to farm it out as fast as possible. And, not being able to actually party up for AV itself just makes it so boring, because you've been playing with these same people, for the last month in your own pre-made World PvP groups or whatever, farming out honor. You could get a little squad together and avoid the big zergs, just so you're not, they're not leeching off all those honor points, but now you just can't even play with them. So, you can, but if you want to be efficient to push, then you can't because you have to be an AV. Now, like I said, I want to reiterate that I don't care about this. I'm not really, looking forward to going for that, but I understand people's concerns. So I'd imagine that going forward, Blizzard is going to do something. I'd be very surprised if they don't patch AV or something. Either buffing the bosses, the guards, nerfing honor, something, or the rep, or maybe even the opposite direction. Maybe they'll do something with Warsong to make it more efficient. It's hard to say, but at the moment, yeah, AV is kind of an issue. But on the whole, how have I been enjoying Battlegrounds? Getting the logistics aside, it's been a ton of fun being able to actually just respawn, and going back at it again. It reminded me of, like, the old days. I used to farm, we had holiday battleground weekends, and I would farm every time Alderac Valley came up. God, the last time I did this was probably Warlords of Draenor, I'd say. And I would spend, like, the whole weekend or an AV weekend on, like, my alts and get up an entire set of honor gear in one weekend because you could do that with the bonus honor. So being able to just farm AV back-to-back like that is still enjoyable somewhat to me, but it would be nice to be able to play with your friends. But as far as, like, the gearing and stuff, it's kind of amusing just to see whatever the people have got and comparing it. And I've been doing fairly well, even in my hodgepodge set of gear. But the class imbalances of Classic is pretty funny still. It is very enjoyable, I guess, because not everybody has all their cooldowns up all the time. So like in World PvP, if you run across a Frost Mage and they're gonna pick a fight, then, they're gonna have Ice Block and, Nova and all their stuff ready. But in a Battleground, you can usually catch people off guard and get some work done by that. And, be able to kill people even if the matchup is really terrible. One thing that I actually have been enjoying that I wasn't expecting so much is getting the flag. Me and one of my shaman friends were just, posted up on our roof, defending the flag, waiting for our flag to get returned so we could cap. And multiple waves of like 2 or 3 people were coming in, and being able to hold out and defend from that is a lot of fun. Being able to use your engineering stuff and cycling cooldowns and, just holding down the gate. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. Anyway, I'm rambling now. What are your guys' thoughts on the whole situation? Do you think they're going to patch AV? I kind of do. I'd be curious to see if anybody has any ideas as to how to fix it, frankly. I'm not totally versed on the previous patches of Classic Alderac Valley and how, like, the old days where it lasted for literal days played out, so maybe they could do something like that. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you next time. Peace.